Wembley Stadium, London, July 16, 1988. Bad World Tour. Final show of the European leg. Michael Jackson is in his dressing room 2 hours before showtime. 5 o'clock in the evening. Pre-show routine in full effect. His crew is setting up costume changes. His assistant is organizing makeup. His stage manager is running through the set list. Michael walks to the corner of his dressing room where his personal belongings are stored. There's an old tour case there. Black, battered, covered in stickers from cities around the world. Michael hasn't opened this case in years. Maybe since 1984. Maybe longer. It's the case he used during the Victory Tour. The Jacksons' final tour together before Michael went fully solo. His assistant mentioned earlier that morning, "We're consolidating equipment for the Japan leg. Should we toss that old Victory Tour case? It's just taking up space." Michael said no immediately. Didn't know why. Just knew he couldn't throw it away. And now, 2 hours before the biggest show of the European tour, Michael decides to open it. He kneels down, unlatches the rusty clasps, opens the lid. Inside, old costumes, a spare glove, some cassette tapes, tour itineraries from 1984. Junk mostly, things he hasn't thought about in 4 years. But then he sees something at the bottom of the case. Beneath the old costumes, a photo, Polaroid, edges bent, colors slightly faded. Michael picks it up and freezes because the photograph shows 2 people, him and Diana Ross. Not a publicity photo, not a stage professional shot, just them. 1983, backstage somewhere. Diana's arms around Michael, both laughing, candid, real, intimate. The photo Michael took with him on the Victory Tour in 1984. The photo he looked at every night before going on stage. The photo that disappeared sometime during the tour. Michael assumed it was gone forever. Searched for it after the tour ended. Never found it. Spent 4 years thinking about this photo. And now here it is. His stage manager knocks. "Michael, 2 hours to showtime." Michael doesn't respond. Can't respond. Because he's holding a photograph from 1983 of Diana Ross, his first love, his deepest love, his most impossible love. If you're enjoying this story, please subscribe to support the channel. December 1983. 5 years earlier, backstage at Motown 25 rehearsals. Michael Jackson was 25 years old. Thriller had been released in November 1982. By December 1983, it was the biggest album in history. Michael was the biggest star on the planet. Diana Ross was 39 years old. Solo superstar, movie star, the woman who discovered and mentored Michael when he was 11 in 1969. For 14 years, Diana had been everything to Michael. Mentor who taught him stage presence and emotional connection. Protector who defended him from industry predators. Ideal against which he measured all beauty and grace. First love. From Michael's perspective, though Diana never reciprocated romantically, Michael fell in love with Diana when he was 11. That love never went away. It evolved, deepened, became obsessive, but never disappeared. December 1983. Diana and Michael rehearsing together for the special that would air in March 1984. During a break, they were talking. Just the 2 of them. Diana was praising Michael's moonwalk performance. "You're going to be bigger than all of us," Diana said. "Bigger than me, bigger than anyone." "I learned everything from you," Michael replied. "You learned, but you became something I could never be. You're extraordinary, Michael." Someone snapped a Polaroid at that moment. Diana's arms around Michael, both laughing. Candid intimacy. The photographer gave Michael the photo. "You 2 look good together." Michael kept it, put it in his wallet, then in his tour case when the Victory Tour started in 1984. What the photo represented for Michael was proof that Diana cared about him, that there was intimacy between them, that maybe, possibly, if Michael became successful enough, famous enough, Diana might see him differently. The photo became a talisman, a symbol of hope, of unrequited love that might someday be requited. December 1982, 1 year before the photo was taken. Michael had just finished Thriller. the album that would make him the biggest star in history. He invited Diana to come listen to it. Private session. Just them. After the album played, Diana was quiet. Finally, "It's incredible, Michael. You're incredible. Do you see me now?" The words spilled out before Michael could stop them. "What?" "Do you see me as more than the kid you mentored? As someone who could be..." Diana's face changed. Understanding and sadness mixed together. "Michael, you'll always be that kid to me. That brilliant, talented kid I helped raise. That's not a bad thing. But I'm not a kid anymore. I know, but that's how I see you. That's always how I'll see you." The silence after was devastating. Michael never finished the sentence he'd started. Never said, "I've loved you since I was 11 years old. Every woman I've dated, I compared to you. I became the biggest star in the world, hoping you'd finally see me." He didn't say it, because Diana's face already told him the answer. She would never love him romantically. Could never. The dynamic was set when he was 11 and she was 25. No amount of success would change it. After that conversation, Michael and Diana's relationship became cordial, professional, distant. They still saw each other at industry events, still maintained public friendship, but the intimacy was gone. But then came the Motown 25 rehearsals. December 1983. 1 year after the devastating conversation. Diana and Michael working together again. And for a brief moment, captured in that Polaroid, things felt almost normal. Diana's arms around Michael, both laughing, the warmth temporarily restored. Michael treasured that photo because it represented what he'd lost. The closeness, the intimacy. July to December 1984. The Jacksons' Victory Tour. Michael's first major tour after Thriller exploded. Contractually obligated, personally exhausting. Michael brought the photo with him, in his tour case. Looked at it before every show. Because touring was lonely. Because despite being the biggest star in the world, Michael felt isolated. Because the photo reminded him of a time when someone saw him, really saw him, even if that someone could never love him the way he needed. Michael's pre-show ritual during the Victory Tour included sitting alone in his dressing room, looking at the photo of Diana, feeling the familiar ache of unrequited love. Then he'd put the photo back in a case. Lock it. Walk on stage. Perform. Come back. Look at the photo again. The photo was a connection to something real in a world that felt increasingly unreal. Sometime during the Victory Tour, the photo disappeared. Michael doesn't remember exactly when. Somewhere between July and December 1984, one city to another, he looked for the photo one night before a show. It wasn't in the case. Panicked. Searched everywhere. Never found it. Assumed someone stole it. Or it fell out. Or he lost it during a move between cities. Devastated. But couldn't tell anyone why. Couldn't explain that he'd lost a photo of Diana Ross. That would require explaining what the photo meant. So Michael kept the loss private, grieved silently, moved on, or tried to. 1984 to 1987. Brooke Shields. Beautiful, famous, safe relationship. But Michael couldn't open up emotionally. "You never really let me in," Brooke said when it ended. Because Michael was still comparing her to Diana. Brief connections. Models, actresses, industry people. Nothing substantial. Diana remained the ghost in every relationship. Diana was Michael's measuring stick, the standard no one could meet. Even though the photo was lost, Michael thought about it constantly. What Diana's arms felt like around him in that moment. The way they were laughing. The intimacy that felt real, even if it was one-sided. The hope it represented. Losing the photo felt like losing the last physical evidence that Diana had cared about him at all. 1985 to 1988. Michael's career continues exploding. Bad album released September 1987. Bad World Tour launches. One of the biggest tours in history. But personally, Michael more isolated than ever. July 16, 1988. Michael is 30 years old, turning 31 in August. Bad World Tour has been going for 10 months. Massive success. Sold out stadiums. But Michael is exhausted. This is the end of the European leg. After this, the tour moves to Japan. Michael is consolidating equipment. His crew is asking what to keep, what to discard. The old Victory Tour case from 1984, battered and in use for 4 years, is about to be thrown away. Michael decides to open it. Not sure why. Nostalgia, maybe. Or procrastination. Or fate. And inside at the bottom, beneath old costumes and tour junk, the photo of Diana from 1983 that disappeared during the Victory Tour in 1984. It's been in the case the whole time. For years. Hidden beneath layers of equipment, Michael never bothered to unpack after the Victory Tour ended. The photo wasn't stolen, wasn't lost, just buried, forgotten, waiting. And now Michael is holding it 2 hours before the biggest show of the European tour, staring at Diana's face, feeling everything he's tried to bury for 6 years since that December 1982 conversation. Michael sits on the floor of his dressing room, the photo in his hands, the old tour case open beside him. It was here the whole time, for years, and I never knew. The flood of memories. 1969. Meeting Diana for the first time, falling in love at age 11. 1982, confessing his feelings, her gentle rejection. 1983, this photo being taken, feeling hopeful again. 1984, looking at this photo every night before Victory Tour shows. 1984, the photo disappearing, the grief of losing it. 1984 to 1988, for years without the photo, try to move on. And now the photo is back. But Michael isn't the same person who lost it. His stage manager knocks. Michael, 90 minutes to showtime. You okay in there? Michael stares at the photo. Yeah, I'm fine. Need anything? No, just give me time. Michael alone with the photo. Why did I find this now? Today? 2 hours before the biggest show of the tour? What does it mean? Diana hasn't changed. I haven't changed. This photo is from 1983, but it could be from yesterday. The feelings are the same. I'm still in love with her. After 6 years of trying to accept that she'll never love me back, I'm still carrying her. Do I keep carrying her? Do I put this photo back in my pocket and continue the pattern? Or do I finally let go? Michael realizes something. Finding the photo isn't a sign he should keep loving Diana. It's closure. The universe giving him back what he lost so he can finally say goodbye to it properly. The photo represents 14 years of unrequited love. The hope that maybe Diana would see him differently if he became successful enough. The devastation of realizing success changed nothing. The 4 years Michael spent trying to move on without closure. But now Michael has the photo back, which means he has the choice. Keep carrying it, or let it go. Michael makes a decision. He's going to perform tonight, carrying the photo with him, one last time, like he did during the Victory Tour. But after the show, he's going to let it go, not throw it away, but stop letting it define him. Stop measuring every woman against Diana. Stop hoping she'll change her mind. The photo came back, so Michael could say goodbye to what it represents. 7:30. Show starts. Michael performs flawlessly. Bad. The way you make me feel. Smooth criminal. The photo is in his pocket. He can feel it against his chest. Reminder of what he's carrying, what he's about to release. During the ballad section, Michael performs several slow songs. Love songs. Songs about longing and loss. Every word takes on new meaning. He's not just performing. He's saying goodbye. To Diana. To the hope. To the 14 years of unrequited love. The audience doesn't know. Can't know. But Michael is performing his private grief in front of 72,000 people. During one ballad. The song Michael has cried through for years. Tonight, he sings it for Diana. One final time. His voice breaks. Multiple times. Tears visible under the stage lights. The audience erupts. Standing ovation. They think it's just Michael being emotional. But Michael is experiencing something else. Catharsis. Release. The beginning of letting go. 11 o'clock. Show ends. Michael takes his bow. Exits the stage. Goes immediately to his dressing room. The photo is still in his pocket. He pulls it out, looks at it one final time. Diana's arms around him, both laughing. 1983. Before everything got complicated. Michael sits in his dressing room, the photo on the table in front of him, the old tour case open beside him. I found this photo so I could say goodbye to it. Diana will never love me the way I love her. I've known that since 1982, but I've spent 6 years refusing to accept it. This photo is beautiful, but it's also a lie. It represents hope that never materialized, intimacy that was one-sided. I can't keep carrying it. I can't keep carrying her. Michael's decision. He's not going to throw the photo away. That would be disrespectful to what Diana meant to him. Instead, he's going to put it back in the tour case, close the case, seal it, store it away properly. The photo will exist. The memory will exist. But Michael won't carry it with him anymore. Michael writes a note on a piece of paper. Diana, I found this photo today after 4 years of thinking it was lost. I looked at it before my show tonight and realized I've been carrying you for 14 years, since I was 11 years old, and you've been kind enough, patient enough to never shame me for it. But I can't carry you anymore, not because I don't love you, but because loving you has kept me from loving anyone else. This photo is beautiful, but it represents something that can never be. I'm putting it away now, not out of anger, out of acceptance. Thank you for everything you gave me. I'll always love you, but I'm finally letting you go. Michael folds a note, puts it in the tour case with the photo, closes the case, latches it shut. 1 month later, August 1988, Michael has a tour case delivered to Diana's management with a simple message. From Michael, please make sure Diana receives this personally. Diana opens a case, finds a photo, reads Michael's note, cries, not because she regrets anything, but because she understands the weight Michael has been carrying, the courage it took to finally let go. 6 months later, January 1989, Michael and Diana see each other at an industry event. First time since Michael sent the photo back. They make eye contact across the room. Diana approaches. I got your letter. And the photo, I wanted you to have it back. Thank you for being honest, for finally letting go. It wasn't easy. I know, but you did it, and I'm proud of you. They talked briefly, genuinely, without the weight of Michael's unrequited love hanging between them. For the first time in 14 years, they're just two people who care about each other, not mentor and student, not idol and worshiper, just Michael and Diana. July 16th, 1988, Wembley Stadium. Michael Jackson opened his old tour case. Inside was a photo he thought he'd lost forever, a Polaroid from 1983. Him and Diana Ross, backstage, laughing, intimate. The photo Michael carried during the Victory Tour in 1984. The photo that disappeared. The photo he searched for and mourned and spent 4 years thinking about. It was in the case the whole time. Buried, forgotten, waiting. Michael found it 2 hours before his show, and for a moment, he thought it was a sign that maybe the universe was telling him to keep hoping, keep carrying Diana, keep believing she'd change her mind. But then he understood. The photo came back so he could finally say goodbye to it. For 14 years, Michael Jackson loved Diana Ross. Obsessively, completely, impossibly. She never loved him back. Not romantically, not the way he needed. And Michael spent 6 years after her rejection trying to accept that, trying to move on, trying to let go. The photo was his last connection to the hope that maybe, someday, Diana would see him differently. But finding it in 1988 taught him something. Sometimes things come back not because you're supposed to keep them, but because you need closure. You need the chance to say goodbye properly. Michael performed that night, carrying the photo, one last time, and then he put it away, sent it back to Diana with a note. I'm finally letting you go. Not out of anger, out of acceptance. Some love shape us, teach us, define entire decades of our lives. But eventually we have to let them go, not because they didn't matter, but because holding on keeps us from moving forward. Michael Jackson opened his old tour case, found a photo he thought he'd lost forever. And in finding it, he finally found the courage to lose it again. This time on purpose. This time with peace. If you like this story, please subscribe to support this channel.